This is Leah from the Race Center and Tyler from the Rec Department.
You hear that? There's all sorts of really interesting stuff about the sound of snow. So right now, if we were to be very quiet, and if this phone had an excellent microphone, it may be able to hear the snowflakes hitting our clothing. But probably not. The difference between snow and other precipitation is that the snow falls much more slowly. And so when it hits the ground, it doesn't hit with the same velocity. So if we were standing out here in the rain, as we have, or in the sleet, then it can be quite loud because those droplets are hitting the ground with some force. But the snow is falling at a different speed. And so, you know, when there isn't a lot of wind, when it's not a crazy blizzard, the actual sound of the falling snow is pretty quiet. Now, often when people are thinking about, like, when you go out in the snow during that fresh snowfall, during a gentle storm or right after, the world is really quiet. And some of the reason is pretty obvious, that like when there's a storm, when it's snowing, there are fewer cars on the road, there are fewer people outside, the birds are kind of hunkered, lots of animals are hanging tight, so there's just less sound creation. But also with snow, because these flakes, when they are falling gently together, there are lots of air pockets. And so this collection of snow here is actually quite similar to what a sound engineer might have in a recording studio, the foam all around. And those air pockets actually trap a lot of sound and pretty much eliminate reverb. So you're like living in a world without echoes. And as a result, the sounds that originate further away get trapped in that light fluffy snow that happens during a storm or right after. And so you hear the sounds that are close to you in a different way because there are less sounds coming from further away. And also, as the flakes are falling, because let's see if we can get a good one here. Maybe not. We've got some needles. No good snowflakes, but they're ice crystals that are falling, and often they are plate-like, or you know, have this needle shape. But those different angles help to bend, refract the sound, and bend it around. And so, as the snow is falling, sounds that are coming from further away get diverted away from your ears, and that's less of what's going on. But more of the effect is when there's that light, fluffy layer of foam on a lot of surfaces which may be reflective. So like over here on this rock, this boulder, without that snow on top, would be a great spot for sound to bounce and come back. But with that protective layer of the air-pocketed snow above, the sound gets trapped there. And so it hushes things, and all the tree trunks get hushed. And so in general, things get quieter, unless you are underwater, because then these little ice crystals hit the water, and each time it hits, there's a plink, and then there's a second sound, which is those little spaces in the snowflake getting filled with bubbles, or you know, the air bubbles that are created there disappearing. So there's like a plink and then a jitter, which to many aquatic creatures that can hear that sound, which is at 50 to 200 kilohertz, I think is the numbers I mentioned earlier. And it can increase the ambient sound level in a body of water by 30 decibels, which is the difference between a conversation, a private conversation, and a blender. So, you know, some animals that are in the water that hasn't frozen over yet, during a snowstorm will just be hearing so much sound that we don't hear because we're up here, and you know, the snow is absorbing the sounds, and you know, it's like a very introspective kind of time, because the sounds that you hear are mostly the ones that you are generating just right in your immediate surroundings. So it's snowing right now, a great time to go out and you know, be with those close thoughts and enjoy.
Excellent. Thank you.